Good morning. Welcome to Ramblings with Joe. Normally today I have Grok on and Grok and I do the news, but I guess today I'm just going to address this ICE situation one more time. I'm fairly amazed at the spin from both sides. So another protester was killed in Minnesota. This time the protester was armed. This time he had a gun. And of course the anti-ICE protesters are saying that the gun did not come into play. He was a legal concealed carry permit holder. Meanwhile, the right is saying that he bought a gun to a protest is indicative of why he was killed. I'm a concealed carry permit holder. I carry a weapon regularly. I have several pistols, and I choose between those, and I carry on a regular basis. Most days when you see me, if I'm in public, I'm probably armed. So the idea that I would go to a protest, a crowded area where I knew there would be a lot of law enforcement, that's not something that I would do. It's not something that, well, let's back up just a moment. I don't know whether this man was justifiably killed or not. I have no idea. I've looked at the video. The crowd of ICE agents that were surrounding this individual, well, they were kind of blocking the view of the camera, the videos that I watched. So I don't know. I don't think anybody knows except for the people that was surrounding the protester. What I do know is there's no local law enforcement in that picture. There's no sheriff's department personnel. There's no city personnel. There's just ICE. Any other protests that I've seen, there have always been more law enforcement than just ICE. The ICE officials, obviously, they're not trained for crowd control. Maybe they are. I'd be amazed if they were. Their job is to find illegal aliens and deport them at this point. That's what they're doing. So let's go back to the carrying of a pistol. It comes with a huge amount of responsibility. It is not something that should be undertaken lightly. It is something that anytime I do it, I'm cognitive of the idea that what I'm doing is a very, looking for the right word, it can be a very dangerous situation anytime I'm interacting with law enforcement of any sort. And I have. I was riding a motorcycle once up in the North Georgia mountains, and I came around a corner, and the police had said, I'm trying to remember if it was a sheriff's department or city. I think it was a sheriff's department, had set up a makeshift roadblock, and were checking all motorcyclists' license and insurance. I don't agree with what they were doing, but I did want to walk away from that particular interaction with these law enforcement without any problems. I wanted to walk away alive is what I wanted to do. So when I got to the front of the line and they asked for my insurance and my license, I said yes, and also I am a concealed carry card holder, license holder. Here's that, and I am carrying a pistol. And they said, "Where's your pistol?" And I said, "It's on my right hip, underneath my jacket." And they said, "With your left hand." They asked where my license and insurance card were, and I said it was in my right jacket pocket. They said, "With my left hand, reach over and grab it." I kept my right hand obviously away from my pistol. I got on my stuff. I handed it to them. They looked at it. They thanked me for letting them know that I had a pistol, sent me on my way. I was legally carrying. I also had a very strong responsibility to let the officer know that I had a pistol on my hip. This interaction took place, and I drove off. Obviously, these police officers had some animosity toward motorcycle riders. They weren't checking cars. They were just checking motorcycles. So This could have been a much worse situation, and I'm not equating this to what happened to the protester in Minnesota. What I'm saying is, as a carrier of an arm, of a pistol, of a weapon, it is the responsibility of that person to let the people of law enforcement know that you are indeed carrying. This is a very contentious subject. The left is very anti-gun. They are very anti-Second Amendment. And if they had their way, they would do away with the guns. Obviously, I am pro-Second Amendment and I carry a pistol. The responsibility is serious. The responsibility of carrying a gun is very serious. And unfortunately, this individual decided to take a pistol with him to a protest where he already knew at least one protester has been killed. So I'm not sure what his mindset was. I understand that he was a healthcare giver, which kind of leans towards someone who is trying to help people. I am saddened by the situation that has been created by the left. I am saddened that the left thinks it's okay to obstruct ICE. It is not. They are doing a job. They are trying to resolve a situation that under the Biden administration was created by allowing so many illegal immigrants, illegal aliens into the country. I do believe that Obama still has more deportations than Trump. There was another situation I was in. I've been in a few. I try not to put myself in these situations because it's important as a weapon carrier that you don't put yourself in these situations. At the time, I had a serious argument with somebody, and the only thing that a concealed carrier permit holder should do in a situation like that is de-escalate. That is part of the responsibility of carrying a gun. And that's what I did. The situation was not de-escalating, so I walked away. The individual continued to scream at me, and I just continued to walk away. That's my responsibility. There are untold amount of times that someone with a gun has got to do just that. They have to walk away. They cannot stay in the situation. If you're going to go to a protest and you know that there's a lot of animosity between law enforcement and the protesters, it might be a good idea to leave your pistol at home. Whether you can do it legally or not is pretty much irrelevant. What you've done is you've given them, if you're on the left and you believe that these people are bad people, you're giving them a reason to do what happened. So my question is, had this protester gone to the protest without a pistol, would he still be alive? And my guess is yes, he would be. Did he have a right to have the pistol? I kind of lean toward the yes. I kind of lean toward, yeah, you've got a right to have a pistol. I don't know what the laws of Minnesota are. I do know that as an American, under the Second Amendment, I think that everybody has a right to carry a pistol that, hasn't had that particular freedom restricted from them because of something that they've done in the past. That's still up in a very contentious subject for some people who want to carry a pistol and have a criminal record. Either way, however you land on it, if this individual didn't have a criminal record and he had a concealed carry permit, evidently, legally, he had the right to carry the weapon. He also had the responsibility that goes along with that right. We have many freedoms in this country. That doesn't mean we have less responsibility. Oftentimes, as in this case, we have more responsibilities. I don't know who is at fault for this killing. I do know, as someone who carries a pistol, I would never go to a protest carrying a pistol. I think that the number one weapon you want to have at a protest is your camera. And that was proven out by, everything that's happened since this started. And I have one more thing that I really want everybody to take away from this particular discussion. And that is, what is the left's solution? I see them protesting continuously about ICE and the job that ICE is doing. My question is, what is the left's solution? The answer cannot be, there's no solution. We have to accept 10 million illegal aliens into our country. That cannot be the solution, because obviously President Trump has been given a mandate to resolve that issue. So here's the thing. I see you protesting. I see you stop doing it like this. What is your solution? Now, I have heard some people on the left say, well, they should be given their due process. They should be allowed to go to court and put forth their case. 10 million cases. That's not how deportation works, number one. Number two, that's not a solution. That is a tactic to put off the solution until you can get to the census. Let's not forget, that's what the objective of the left is, whether you're aware of it or not. The people who are the organizers of the left, that's their tactic. They want the census to count all of these illegal aliens. What's your solution? How do you propose the deportation of the 10 million illegal aliens? I'm not the guy who's going to stand here and say we're only going to deport the violent criminals that are here illegally. No, I'm the guy that's saying if you're here illegally, if you came into the country and you did so breaking the law, you need to go home. And I think that you'll find that's the opinion of most of the people on the right and quite a few people on the left. The problem isn't that the solution needs to happen. The problem is how. And I don't see the left coming up with a feasible solution, with something that will work. I would love to hear the left's solution, not just the idea that we just need to let them stay. No, that's not acceptable. I'm married to an immigrant. It took her years and years to get her citizenship. She's proud of that citizenship. She earned it. She did it the legal way. There's no reason anybody else should be allowed to break the law and then be given amnesty to stay because a section of the left's party, of the Democratic Party, has decided that is the most political expedient thing for them to do so that they can have those numbers. I'm not going to change my mind on that. I don't think most people on the right and center who follow that line of logic are going to change their mind on it. We should not reward bad behavior in this country. There should be a reckoning for your bad behavior in our personal lives, in our professional lives, and, well, in the life of an immigrant. I have no problem with you being on the left. I have no problem with the idea that we need to help people. I have a problem with it being forced upon everybody in the nation and affecting everybody in the nation. Your rights end where another person's rights begin. And you forcing the rest of the country to absorb this amount of illegal aliens and lower the economic value of the dollar across the board through cheap labor is not helping anybody. Obviously, I feel pretty strongly about this. I have some strong coffee to have this morning, and I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to finish it. I'm going to go out and I'm going to have a really, really good day, if not a cold day. It's going to be like 26 degrees when I head off to work. And I know that's not much of anything for someone from, let's say Toronto, but here in Georgia, we're not acclimatized to anything different. So I hope you go out and you have a fantastic day. I hope you go find peace, especially peace, love, and dream. Until next time, ciao.